Has inflation peaked? That is a huge question for economists and really all of us as we pay more for just about everything, groceries, gas, everything.
Yeah, main indicator to answer that question is always the Consumer Price Index report. Fox 13's Ryan Flores has details on that report, which came out a bit earlier this morning.
Right.
And you've been looking at that data. Hey, Brian.
I have. We'll start off with the good news before we get to the bad news, guys. The good news is that this report shows that inflation did cool slightly. The bad news, overall, the report shows that prices are worse than economists predicted. And the reality is that prices for everyday items, goods, are likely to remain high as inflation remains near a 40-year high. So stay with me as we go through some of these numbers here. The CPI report says that consumer prices rose 8.3% since last year. Economists were predicting prices to rise 8.1%, so a little bit worse than what they were predicting. Back in March, the year-to-year was 8.5%. That was the highest since 1981. Now, if we compare prices from March to April, going month to month now, that increased 0.3%. And while it's not good that prices increase, obviously, that in itself is the smallest increase that we've seen in about 8 months. The peak was 1.2% from February to March, which is, of course, triggered by the start of the Russia-Ukraine war and the rise in gas prices. So a little bit of good and bad here. Meantime, the president blaming two things for inflation right now: the pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In a speech, the president acknowledged that American families are hurting right now, and he also said that fighting inflation is his top domestic priority.
My plan attacks inflation and grows the economy by lowering costs for working families, giving workers well-deserved raises, reducing the deficit by historic levels, and making big corporations and the very wealthiest Americans pay their fair share.
Now, the president also expressed frustration that his party does not have the 60 votes in the Senate that he needs to pass a lot of his plan. Right now, it's split 50-50. So obviously it's going to be an uphill battle for Senate Democrats. But here's how all this affects you. Economists do say we will eventually see a gradual drop in consumer prices since we have reached a peak. But this is certainly not going to happen overnight. It's going to take several weeks, several months. We take out food and energy costs. Prices still jump 0.6%. And experts say high prices may become entrenched for quite a while. Bill, back over to you.
So we've told you about rising prices at the grocery store. Now we have some numbers. The USDA's research service estimates food prices at supermarkets will increase 5 to 6% this year. This graph showing estimated hikes on everyday items. Fats and oils expected to be the highest at 8.5%. Poultry estimated to rise about 5%. The USDA also estimates that restaurant prices are expected to jump between 5 and 6.5%.